Hey guys, this is period 2, Miss Reidmiller's class, Animal Farm final podcast, and I'm Brandon.
Mikko,
Leslie, and Logan.
And today's topics are propaganda, equality, working conditions, qualities of a good leader, and entitlements. So what were some of the propaganda pieces in Animal Farm?
The 10 Commandments for sure.
the TV.
Oh, and the squealer.
The squealer?
Squealer. Squealer. Yeah. These were all propaganda because, one with the commandments, they were all just, taking their beliefs and putting them in commandments and kind of forcing them on everybody and just making them all agree because someone was in charge now.
Yeah.
Mikko.
And the TV, it's distracting them from realizing what's going on behind their backs, and it's just changing around them. They don't even know.
Squealer grabbed information from all kinds of sources and just spread it around to everybody else.
The commandments were also lies half of the time because they started changing it over time, so it benefits the pigs more than the normal animals and all
the
of
leaders.
them. Yeah. One of the commandments were not to sleep in a human bed, and then later on in the book the pigs do, the squealer, Napoleon.
We'll get to
and
that
all of them.
inequality later, though.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that.
What were other stuff that you guys think were in the book about propaganda?
I think that's it.
Yeah,
Next topic.
Squealer would kind of just take his own opinions and Napoleon's too, and if they didn't like someone, they would kind of twist what had actually happened. Like when Snowball got ran off the farm, they kind of started making lies about Snowball and just made everyone believe that with new rules.
Saying he's the enemy and all of that.
Exactly.
When Snowball was the main one, figuring out all of the things.
And they said they found his paw prints around the windmill and stuff when it wasn't his, and they just stuff that was taken out of context and twisted to make other animals favor them
and
instead of other people.
Inequality, the pigs got all the milk and apples when the other animals didn't, because they said they needed it for their brains instead of they were smarter and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, once the pigs figured out they could get stuff by saying they're smart, they started using that to their advantage and just started manipulating the other animals.
Yeah, and everyone had to go with it because they thought the pigs were all right. They were all these all-knowing
smart guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next topic: equality. What were some of
that was equality.
Well, we started on it. Yeah. So
yeah.
Also,
but what were other things that you guys think were about equality?
When boxers' puppies got turned into attack dogs to
the KGB.
they
they represented the KGB.
When they chased off Snowball off the farm, and they were separated from Boxer, even though she should have been with them.
That's another form of propaganda. They were trained to run off Snowball.
Yeah, they were trained to obey Napoleon and the pigs and all of that from birth too.
Yeah,
they were. I just lost my train of thought.
They also lied to Boxer saying they were gonna help her puppies.
Yeah, but they were lying to her. What? They were lying.
Yeah. But touching back on the equality stuff, Napoleon and Squealer also got more attention and they got celebrations because of their things would happen and they got celebrations for themselves, and they got to also sleep in beds when that was a commandment before the animals couldn't, and yeah, they just made everyone kind of work around them, and they had privileges along with the pigs.
Okay, our next topic is working conditions. So, how were the animals treated on the farm?
Horribly.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrible. They would work exaggerated hours. Sometimes they wouldn't get sleep, or they couldn't go home, and it was just too much. And most of them wouldn't really get paid.
Yeah.
And so sometimes they had no home to go to.
When the pigs were selling some of the animals' eggs and stuff to the humans.
The hens.
Yeah. they would be selling stuff to the humans, and then the animals that worked for everything wouldn't get anything out of it, like any profit.
Yeah.
Didn't they like destroy their own eggs?
Yeah, they were making more eggs than they needed to, and then they would sell them, but the hens were like overworking them. Everyone was overworking themselves, and the actual humans scammed the animals and gave them a fake check. So like they wouldn't get paid in the first place. Only the leaders would. So like no one who was actually doing the work got paid, but it turned out to all be fake. Like the checks weren't even real. So
like in real life.
So everyone was getting little to no pay for everything. So
and, like the leaders were drinking like the alcohol from the humans when one of the commandments was like
they're not supposed to.
Yeah, not to drink like alcohol because it's bad and all of that.
The working conditions were just horrible, and it was for no profit for anyone.
Next, qualities of a good leader. Like, what are the characteristics of a good leader?
Like, Old Major, he was a good leader because, like, he gave, like, a really good speech, and he got them all riled up to, like, rebel against the humans.
He was wise.
Yeah,
he was wise. Loyalty also. Loyalty and honesty, that plays a big part in being a good leader. And being a good listener, because you take everyone else's opinions and try to create the best for them.
Being good at speeches is one too, because you could like make it more believable or like persuade people into it.
I think you have to be like passionate and like smart about what you're talking about too. If you're not educated on like what's going on, then that's like extremely detrimental. And also if you're not passionate. Like if you have like no reason to do it besides like power or money or something, like you won't get far because it's like only you pushing yourself, and that'll take away from being a good listener too.
Yeah. Our next topic is entitlement. So like being entitled to something and all of that. So what were like some of the entitlements in Animal Farm, do you guys think?
The pigs thought they should get like all the good treatment when all the other animals were like working and like not getting paid or anything, but like the pigs were like making agreements with like the humans and like laughing and sharing alcohol. So
I think especially towards the middle of Animal Farm, the Napoleon and Squealer and people kind of in their like inner circle, they started getting really entitled. They would have special things going on for them, and they got to kind of like just like only certain rules applied for them, and they got to change things whenever they wanted, and
special treatment was a big part.
Special treatment for them.
It was like how kings and queens were like the peasants would be like nothing, just like
bottom of the pyramid.
Yeah.
There was only bottom and top. There was no in between.
Yeah. And like the pigs were top leaders, like kings, queens, and all of that.
Like the police.
Oh yeah, the police.
Yeah. The KGB was like in the middle, and then the other animals, like the working class, pretty much were at the very bottom as like peasants, and they would be treated like poorly and all of that.
Yeah.
It was
like we said earlier, very overworked, extremely underpaid for what they were doing.
It was just really evident when Napoleon began to like realize what power he had. He started making his own rules and just having exceptions for himself and others, while people at the bottom of the totem pole were just overworked.
Another thing is like one of the animals would get like sick from being overworked. They would just get sent to like the slaughterhouse and not like cared for or anything. They would just get killed like they were nothing.
Yeah, like Napoleon lied and said that like the horse that was like injured was gonna go to like a medical care, but like just like the van got rebranded, but it said Meat House on it, so
I feel like I feel like that's another example of just like entitlement. Like they thought they were so above that they could just kill off any animals whenever they wanted, and like they kind of changed the rules because the 10 Commandments at first just said that animals are supposed to be friends and equal, and they just like treated them bad and just pretty much tried to justify them killing them.
Yeah. Okay, that's the end of our podcast for today. Bye. Thank you for your time.
Come back.